I want to recognize Dr. Murphy, but I do want to say I'm so glad we've got two very bright, capable doctors that are on our team here too. So, and Dr. Murphy's one of the two.
Somewhere else. I didn't know where you were talking about. Thank you guys for coming. You know, sitting here looking up what ultra-processed foods were, the staff in this place is going to go crazy when we get rid of the energy drinks, because that's the number one that they put on. And then I saw vegan meat. How about that? How about that, guys? That's going to toss back. But thank you, guys. I think there is full recognition on this committee that medicine or food is medicine. The real question is, how do we get, and you know, when I tell a patient, and I still see patients, to stop smoking, to do this, do that, and if you write a prescription, they're going to go to the drugstore and fill it. But the next time they go to the grocery store, may think in their mind, but are they going to do something different? And so there is a point of coercion where you have to have some of these foods. I look back, you know, when I grew up in junior high school and high school, you didn't have soft drink things in the gym or in the cafeteria. You didn't have any of that stuff. You got water or milk, or sometimes you got that, you know, purple juice or whatever that you had. But it is a change. We've also taken exercise out of our schools. The presidential exercise program, fitness program has gone away. So this combination with food, because exercise is healthy also. So I want to pare down on one of our more really at-risk communities, and those are folks on Medicaid and on SNAP. I sadly enough see a lot of end-stage renal patients, a lot of folks who have faced diabetes, a lot of folks who hypertension, et cetera, et cetera. But we don't have anything really in SNAP that says you have to eat nutritious food. And if I'm in the grocery store and I'm looking behind and I'm looking, you know, God forbid I just try to hide my potato chips. I've done better. I promise you I've done better. But it's time that we actually did that, because those are at a higher risk population. Those are the ones who end up costing the system more. Those are the ones whose longevity is decreased. So what do we do with SNAP? How do we fix this? How do we then say, look, this is for nutritious food. It's not for soda. It's not for chips. It's not for cookies, in a way that still gives people choice. Because remember, at the end of the day, it is personal choice. You can't force them to take a medicine. You can't force them to eat a food, especially stewed broccoli. But anyway, so I'm interested, Dr. Frist and Dr. Hyman and anybody else on the committee, how do we deal with SNAP? How do we say this is for folks for nutritional assistance, but it's nutritional assistance, it's not caloric assistance?
Yeah, I'll start, and Dr. Hyman can add to intelligently. The Farm Bill is underway, and again, this is multi-jurisdictional. This is sort of changing behavior that is new. Obesity was not a problem 50 years ago.
Nope.
The diabetes to the effect we have today was not a problem. So it is fixable. And I think what you've heard beautifully, I think, as we've presented, it is the creation of industry in large part.
Sure.
And the industry that, and I'm, you know, out with business for profit, I'm out with capitalism, I'm out there all the way. But it is an industry that is out to sell, to make a profit on food. And the science today, and most of us, or all of us are scientists of some sort, the science today allows us to manipulate chemicals that are no longer really food that hit the brain.
Right.
So
if I can, I'm sorry, just our time is short. How do we fix SNAP? I know these things really trigger brain. How do we fix SNAP?
I just want to come to, let me go quicker to it. And so, and you've heard me say make the healthy choice the easy choice, but people on SNAP don't really have, but many people on SNAP don't have the choice, because if you see a sugary beverage or a fruit drink, both of which have lots of added sugar to it,
sure,
versus an alternative, that's not really a choice because of the addiction of the brain itself.
Right.
So SNAP itself, what is it, 20-30% goes to sugary beverages.
Yeah.
That is the killer. That is the cause of chronic disease today. So I do feel this is personal based on my policy making, like you, and health, that we should limit if this is taxpayer dollars, that as a choice, since we know it is an addictive choice. Now, you can look to the WIC program. I think the WIC program is ahead of the SNAP program, and I would look to the WIC program and adopt some of that at the SNAP level.
I think it's important. My time's just about expired. And, somebody say this may be very paternal, telling you what to do, but this is an at-risk population. There oftentimes are food deserts, without a doubt. But if we don't start putting some personal responsibility, and if people aren't going to be able to do that, and they are, good Lord, I've seen 2-year-old kids come into the patient with their mother drinking a Mountain Dew. We have to put some responsibility because they're going to have so many deleterious effects in the weeks and years to come. Real quick, Dr.
Just
Harvey.
quickly, I think we need to put the N back in SNAP. Nutrition security, not just food security, not just calories, but also nutrition that drives health and wellness. I think incentives for purchasing healthy food have been demonstrated to be effective, and disincentives for purchasing unhealthy food. That can be built in. I think that focusing on nutrition security as well as food security is essential, and I think people want it. And I think people on SNAP would benefit. And the data show clearly that those who get the incentives for good food and disincentives for unhealthy food actually create better health outcomes and better overall health for the people who are doing
Yeah,
it. So there are models for this.
Absolutely.
There's actually a program at the Indian Health Service, I think in Native American reservations, which is like SNAP, and they get a choice between Whole Foods or just SNAP, and they all often choose Whole Foods, which they have on the reservations. We can expand that to the rest of the nation.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll yield back.